Twitch. Now it says I'm doing. Done. Oh shit! There you go. All right. No, now it's live. Okay, so it's live on YouTube, and that one first. Watch my channel. My live on. It does. Okay, so now we're using the same encoder. Right? My hand, and I can see it. Chat. Okay, yeah, no, I can see that there too. Okay, YouTube chat and chat. Okay, good. Badass, dude. That's super badass, dude. HM multi-stream gangster OBS plugin. Got them both. All right, so guess I can just thing now. I wanted to talk to anyone that will listen about the end of. I'm gonna go ahead and because I'm watching chatting. Okay. Well, actually, wait. Maybe some help some, but instead go to. See you guys. I need to see. All. What's that? At me. Perfect. Okay. Um. Yes, and then we're all set. But fuck yeah, thank you for your patience. Okay. So, end of life on October 14th. So, from what I understand, minimum system requirements for 10 or Windows 11 are, I think it's like a specific CPU or something that it needs to be above a certain level after a certain generation. It's not a huge thing. I know people that still like run a Windows like 7 installation, Windows 7 Master Race guys, just like diehards because they never switched to 8. But if it's an internet-facing computer, that kind of gives you like a huge kind of security vulnerability. You're doing security updates. Let's see, if you need more time for moving to a Copilot plus PC or other new Windows 11 device, the Consumer Extended Security Updates program can protect your device for up to a year after. So even so you're going to get extended security updates for a while, but not forever. And then beyond that, you're going to still be contributing to Microsoft. I know Windows, it does a lot of cool stuff. Xbox, blah 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 blah. Stop. I am doing all of this on. Currently, I'm on Fedora, with KDE environment, and bro, it's not as hard as all that. It's not hard to switch to Linux, and it's just cooler. Yeah, and argue with me, chat about that. That's fine. Write hate mail or whatever you gotta do. Call me an asshole for that, but do it, and it's free, and it's open source, and it's not Microsoft, not a gigantic company that has like predatory practices. I think that I don't know, over the year. I mean, he's been sued. Bill Gates has been sued for shit. Like the browser wars. I installed a Windows computer, or my lady friend got a laptop and it had Windows 11, and it wouldn't let me just run administrator stuff. I couldn't administrate on the computer until I turned all this crap off. Like, it's, I don't know. I just think it when your computer is no longer your computer, like there's a problem. When my computer, when I tell it to do something, it does it. And I don't think that it's easy for like backdoors into my computer unless somebody knows what they're doing and knows what they're looking for. Like like a good hacker could get into my computer, no doubt. But like it, I don't know. It's I think Microsoft is gross. I think Apple is gross. And I think like capitulation to like government powers is on the rise here. And I don't know if anyone watched my stream Captain D earlier on here. Am I on Twitch? Am I? Doesn't. Damn. Fuck. Well, now it's working. Was I on YouTube? This is janky. Still working? They're using the same encoder for a minute. See? Yeah. All right. All right. All right. All right. Okay. It's okay. Sorry, I'm trying to figure this whole streaming thing out. It's hard. Um. Let's, so yeah. Anyway, switch to Linux. Chads. Moving on. If we are trying to fight the powers that be, that is our goal here. Then maybe it would be us to add some different that. I am on 5calls.org. Okay, so this is a website that gives you information and data about how to get in contact with your elected representatives. Okay? And then it gives you ways to say what you want to say to them in the ways that are most clear, the language there thing. So let's see. So the first one, stop the deployment of U.S. military to America. Okay. Trump has authorized the deployment of hundreds of National Guard troops to Chicago, while a federal judge in Oregon has blocked a similar deployment of troops. Trump is attempting to mischaracterize legal and lawful First Amendment right of citizens to protest as an excuse to send in troops to dominate and control a Democrat-led. So this is alarming for a number of reasons. It where it ends is suppression and of the voter. That's where this is headed. And if you have a militarized streets where you are meant to go, you're gonna not do that. So, and that's the process by which our leaders are elected, and that is as it's been and as it should be and as it must remain. And that is going to be threatened by a persistent militarized presence in the street constantly. And then just they okay. How many legal citizens of by ICE? So it's not just criminals. It's not just even illegal immigrants. Like let's be real about this. Factually.co. I'll get a couple here. Fact check: how many legal citizens have been deported or detained by ICE? Based on the available analyses, no specific data exists regarding the number of legal U.S. citizens deported or detained by ICE in 25. Sources consistently indicate that this precise information is not publicly available or regularly released. Well, of course, they're not going to fucking release it from the government database. That's kind of like, oh, I'm not going to tell everybody how I'm fucking everything up. But let's see. ICE held almost 60,000, 56,000 people in detention as of July. You got to know that's insane, way higher now. With 71% of current detainees having no criminal convictions. What the fuck? 71% of current detainees having no convictions. So the narrative that they're all violent, it's on what grounds? Like and how are you proving this? Okay. ICE has identified 435,000 unauthorized immigrants with criminal convictions in the United States who are not in custody as of July. Okay, great. Criminal can mean a lot of things. Criminal doesn't necessarily mean violent, and I guess if they're here unauthorized, fine. Like if that's the law of the land to do that, I think the it's being taken care of is inhumane and disgusting. But going forth and getting the law done, fine. We can argue about the law later. By the end of May, ICE had arrested 752 non-citizens convicted of murder and 1,693 convicted of sexual assault. Okay, convicted rapists, convicted murderers here illegally. That's the law. The number of people deported by ICE has not been regularly released. Missing context and alternative viewpoints. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, then you've got the mistaken deportation. Um, I'm not going to even. They're not going to say. People in the U.S. legally have been detained by ICE. Let's see what it says.
Helpless, and so like a nightmare we can't wake up from, or a horror movie we can't escape from. I even try to explain it to people like we're having an out of body experience. We're watching us live our lives, but really it's not us. We're just going through the motions of living. Whilst our daughter now is on her 12th day incarcerated by ICE in Tacoma in a large detention center.
Look, guys, there's no way to sugarcoat it. Nobody likes Democrats anymore. We have no voters left because of all of our woke trans. Not even black people want to vote for us anymore. Even Latinos hate us. So we need new voters. And if we give all these illegal aliens free health care, we might be able to get them on our side so they can vote for us. They can't even speak English, so they won't realize we're just a bunch of woke pieces of you know, at least for a while until they learn English and they realize they hate us too.
Lethality.
Okay, heard. Nice. It's gross, man. It's the fucking president of the United States posted that fucking AI slop. With just. I mean, and then just blatant fucking lies. Nothing about this healthcare thing is going to. It's just not the case, man. Like, they're not allowed to benefit from Medicaid. That's the point. But never mind. Whatever. All right. Permanent residents in the U.S. have faced detention and deportation, while even tourists have been turned away under new immigration regime taking place under the Trump administration. The White House has been accused of targeting activists with opposing views, especially on the Israel-Hamas war, and rushing to deport people before they can fully access legal counsel. When asked last month about the administration's record of controversial and mistaken deportations, which has included deporting people protected by court rulings, President Trump brushed off any criticism. Let me tell you that nothing will ever be perfect in this world, told The Atlantic. Here are some of the most notable cases. Hassan being questioned about his views at the airport. Australian wife locked up and kicked out on way to visit her husband, U.S. Army. Potential deportation looms for a mixed status Ohio family. Last week, a pregnant Mexican mother in Ohio sued the Trump administration, arguing likely deportation would separate her from the U.S. citizen. Her child, a 9-year-old who received special needs care for autism and amount to illegal treatment for her unborn child. The boy was born here. He is a citizen. Like, and no matter how, again, this is, sure, maybe it's the law, even if the court ruled that she should not be here, the actual morality of tearing a mother away from her kids, like a special needs kid, even, just to put a poisonous cherry on top of that, like, it's fucked up. It's just fucked up. Like, okay. Well, established everything is fucked up. 5 calls. Let's find your legislatures. This is, I'm not going to do this on screen, but essentially you can walk through. No, I'm going to block it. But it finds who your reps are, finds who your senator is. It gives you the number for their extension on the switchboard, and then it gives you essentially the way to say how you feel about whatever topic it's got. It makes it very easy, lays it out, and just gives you almost a script to say in the most effective way to our representatives what we need to say to them. So it's an effective tool, and the more we are up their asses yelling at our representatives about it, the more likely they are to do something. I mean, not by a huge amount. A lot of them have stopped doing town halls. They don't care. However, it is something. It is an actionable step that if you're tripping out about it and can't get out into the street, get on the fucking phone. Make a fucking phone call. Okay. Secondly, the one other thing I wanted to talk to is another actionable step you can do. Not buying shit. Okay, this is it all comes down to money. Everything about it, everything about our government, everything about our society, it's all okay. So goods unite us. I personally fucking love a Whopper. Just see what happens when I type in Whoppers. Oh no, let's see. Or Burger King. Burger King. Let's see. Goods unite us. So, donation distribution. Every company that operates in the United States that gets to a certain point, and a lot of even just small state companies, they all donate to political causes. All of them. They all do this. So, this website kind of breaks down what their donation records are. Okay? Now, no matter what side of the political spectrum you're on, if you're hanging out with me, I can only assume sitting. But it helps you know which candidates they've supported and which legislation they have not. So, what's sitting on my desk? I've got, if I can find, Historic Brewing Company. It's in Arizona. I don't think so. Historic. I don't think it's. Like I said, no. All right, let's try. What else have I got? Bic. Not bicycle playing cards, you winkers. All right, fine. Doesn't have that one either. What else have I got? Oh, okay. What is it? Ball Seed? Ball Seed Company? All right. Well, I'm not giving it a great um I'm not giving it a great preview here, but oh come on. What about Doritos? Wait, don't shop. Shopify. Doritos. Fine. Okay. Owned by Pepsi. About an even split. Top 5 donated to. I wonder if I look up Pepsi. What Pepsi says. Or Coke. Split again. Campaign finance. What is this? Doesn't do it. Well, damn. All right, I heard about this site and I thought it'd be cool. Let's see. IPSY. What is it? This company and senior employees do not donate significant amounts to politicians or PACs. Okay. Uber, 69%, 93% for Uber. Then all of a sudden, Anthony Gonzalez. Okay, well, so let's see. I could look for a person. Yeah, I don't know. So fuck around with it. It's it's there. I don't know if it's gonna do what you want it to, but it is a tool. Uh, yeah. So I just wanted to show you guys that. But anyway, the reason of this is like boycotts. So because not spending your money, it doesn't give them that money spend on shit like this. Not buying a Tesla prevents Elon Musk from spending 246 million to further rig the system. So in any way that you can, like stop. Okay, let's see. Brands owned by Kraft Food. Complete list of Kraft Heinz brands. This is how bad it is. This I can just go on for days. A1 sauce, Classico, Grey Poupon, Bagel Bites, Baker's Chocolate, Clausen, Jello, Country Time Lemonade, Crystal Light, Javalia, Kool-Aid, fucking Benihana's, Capri Suns, Cool Whip, Elimex, Philadelphia Cream Cheese. Like, this is all one company. Okay. What giant companies own each other one? What giant companies would own which others? Let's see. 15 companies that own everything you buy. Let's see. Each logo to jump down to the article or more about. So Johnson and Johnson owns Motrin, Zarbee's, Tylenol, Carefree, Nicorette, Listerine, Band-Aid, Stay Free, Aveeno, and Neutrogena. Meaning every one of the brands underneath those brands is also all of it's being siphoned back to this one company, Johnson and Johnson. Okay, and there's a million other. Like it's Pepsi, Risk, Cheetos, Doritos, Gatorade, Lay's chips, Ocean Spray. I'm gonna fucking like Pepsi, obviously, Pure Leaf Tea, Tostitos, and Ruffles. Procter and Gamble, same thing. Like all of this goes back to the same company. So then let's go back to this other one. Let's type in Johnson and Johnson. They do. Oh, and fucking Nestle. Actually, let's see Nestle. Kit Kats, and if you really want to get disturbed, all you got to do is look up like the different scandals that these companies have been involved in that like you don't hear about because they don't want you to hear about them. But Nestle does fucked up shit, like stealing water from entire communities. Like the well goes deep, and Nestle drains it. It's nuts. Okay, let's see. Nestle. Let's see how Nestle breaks down. Mostly Republican. I want to know. No way. To Bernie Sanders. Fuck. Never. Rock of Bull. Why? Why would they donate to Bernie? That's what I don't understand either. Okay, the reason I'm so skeptical of this Nestle baby formula scandal. Get into that in a second. 1977 Nestle boycott was launched in the United States. So a boycott was launched in the United States July 4th, 1977 against the Swiss-based International Food and Drink Processing Corporation Nestle. Boycott expanded in Europe in the 1980s and was prompted by concerns about Nestle's aggressive marketing of infant formulas, particularly in underdeveloped countries. The boycott has been canceled and renewed because of the business practices of Nestle and other substitute manufacturers monitored by the International Baby Food Action Network. Nestle and other substitute manufacturers, organizers of the boycott, as well as public researchers and experts, consider breast milk to be the best nutrition for infants. The WHO recommends infants to be exclusively breastfed for the first 6 months of their lives. Nevertheless, nutritional gaps must be filled. Breastfeeding is not possible. The Nestle baby milk controversy. In 2007, groups including the International Baby Food Action Network, Save the Children, issued reports that the promotion of infant formula over breastfeeding led to health problems and deaths among infants in less economically developed. 3 problems that can arise when poor mothers in developing countries switch to formula, as well as one list of benefits. Breast milk. This is not. Okay, let's go to the 70s about Nestle. Nestle's marketing strategy was first written about in the New Internationalist magazine in 73, and a booklet called The Baby Killer, published by British NGO War on Want. The report helped raise concern over marketing practices in developing countries and served as the starting point for the so-called Baby Killer campaign. Nestle started a legal suit in Switzerland when the booklet was published in German language entitled Nestle Kills Babies. After a 2-year trial, the court found in favor of Nestle because they could not be held responsible for the infant deaths in terms of criminal law, because the defendants were only fined 300 Swiss francs, just over $400 adjusted for inflation. And Judge Jürg Solberger commented that Nestle must modify its publicity methods fundamentally. Time magazine declared this a moral victory for the defendants. Led to similar court challenges brought against other milk companies in the U.S., spearheaded by the Roman Catholic Order Sisters of the Precious Blood, in conjunction with Interfaith Center on Corporate Responsibility. I want to know what they did. Like, why? What was their baby killer? Not understanding. Nestle's baby killer. I guess it was in the 70s. So. Baby milk action. Oh, that's a. Okay. Ow. Nice. That's a. Okay, BBC World Service archive on the baby killer. Let's see. The BBC World Service interviewed Mike Muller for a program in his Witness series. The BBC History Hour did another program the following. But what happened? Hi. Scandal. Nestle scandals. It only showed that they win the court case. I'm curious as to what the underlying thing was, because we've been over like legality isn't necessarily morality. Nestle's 5 biggest scandals. Let's see, the baby formula scandal. It's the company's conception in 1867. This company's been around for almost 200 years. Nestle has convinced people its baby formula is better for infants than breast milk, a claim that is categorically false. Popular focus on marketing in developed countries in Africa, Latin America, and Asia during the 70s, sending saleswomen dressed as nurses to convince the mothers that their formula was better for their children than their own breast milk. Many women struggling to afford the expensive milk touted as better than what their bodies produced for free, diluted the formula with often unsanitary water, further reducing its nutritional value. Millions of infants died. Many more grew up nutritionally deficient, dramatically impacting the health and lifespan of swaths of the developing world. One of the worst scandals a corporation has ever publicly faced. Meanwhile, the company pocketed billions in revenue from baby formula and continues to do. It is worth pointing out that some women cannot breastfeed, and baby formula, when prepared correctly, is an adequate substitution for breast milk. However, yeah, paying off doctors and hospitals and sending women dressed as nurses into the developing world to hawk baby formula is wild. That is some wow. Okay, child slave labor. Yep, you read that right. As recently as 2021, Nestle was sued by 8 former child slaves for aiding and abetting the illegal enslavement of thousands of children on cocoa farms in their supply chains, alongside Cargill, Barry Callebaut, Mars, Olam, Hershey, and Mondelez. Nestle is accused of, in a class action lawsuit, of allowing forced labor on their Ivory Coast cocoa plantation. Claims are horrifying. As with many of the controversies we'll describe, Nestle is accused of trying to cover up its misdeeds by actively misleading the public, promising to phase out child labor firstly by 2005. That they needed to promise that by 2005 they would stop using child labor. That feels not enough. It feels like you're pretty late to the party, bud. Exploiting drought-ridden areas. Despite the crippling droughts and wildfires that annually ravage California, Nestle CEO proudly continues to exploit the state's water resources. The exact amount Nestle pumps out from the San Bernardino National Forest is unclear, but estimates that the figure is around 1 billion gallons annually. Since 1988, Nestle has, for some inexplicable reason, been bottling its water for Arrowhead Water brand, or Arrowhead, bleh, God, Arrowhead Water from this public and vital water source since 1984. Nestle, being Nestle, this has put them back a measly $524 a year, despite its permit running out in 1980. Petitions have come and gone to get the company to pay for the water it takes out, or at least to renew its license. However, all attempts have come to nothing. So it's just illegally, without a license, pumping water out of the forest. Stop buying Arrowhead water. And then that's when the law has broken down, when it's no longer functioning to yell about it or sue them, because big companies like this, if there's a fine and you have enough money, that's not punishment. That is just the cost of doing business. If you make $200,000 a year and you get a $50 fine every time you park your car at the wrong spot a week, you don't give a shit. 7 days a week, 7 times 5, that's $350 a week. That's $1,400 a month. That's 10 grand. That's a lot. That shit adds up. But you do that once or twice a month, you don't fucking care. $100 a month, $200 a month, whatever. Oops, I was late, so I just paid a few extra bucks to break civil law to get away with what I know I'm not supposed to be doing, but I can afford to do anyway. That mindset is what companies of this scale have when it comes to shit like this. They will gladly just pay the fine to keep going. So the only real way to hit them where it hurts is to call them on this bullshit, which gets harder and harder because this isn't exactly yelled about. Not enough people know about this shit, so nobody actually acts on it. You don't have to drink Arrowhead water. You don't have to eat Nestle products. It's like every one of them. So you have to be fucking vigilant because they own goddamn near everything. But anyway, and the list goes on. Plastic pollution, obviously, contaminating groundwater. Nestle is also blamed for exploiting groundwater in areas where the public needs it the most and selling it for profit. Pakistan, which is recently reclassified from water stressed to water scarce, has seen water sources in areas where Nestle began sourcing its Pure Life water sink hundreds of feet since production began. So we are literally investing in a company that is going and stealing water, not just from our forests, but from other disadvantaged places on Earth, and selling it to us for way too much fucking money. And then to put it in a fucking plastic bottle that will then go poison water everywhere else. It's clear to me that the government is not working to fight this. This is not going. We need both. We need to do both. We need to make calls to our congressmen. We need to engage in civics more as a society to get representatives that will fucking do what they say they will do and that will actually pay attention to causes like this. And B, we need to stop buying shit from the companies that pay their politicians and let them win. Right? All right. Well, that's my rant. So, Linux, call your fucking reps, bro. Okay? I don't know if is Goods Unite Us. If you want to use that one, that's cool. But 15 companies that buy anything, and then just go look at the scandals they've done. Okay? Anywhere you can. Buy small, buy local, or just don't buy shit. We're all going to have to get a little bit more lean here since tariffs and just inflation in general, they're gonna hyperinflate the dollar. Watch. I'm watching. All right, I gotta bounce. Fucking check it out. Subscribe on YouTube if you want. I wouldn't mind a fucking follow on Twitch. If you're a homie. Thanks to anyone that sees it. Bye.